experienced the healing power of music after domestic violence or emotional abuse? Well, let me tell you, if you haven't, today I'm pretty sure you will. So we're going to be having a special musical guest, Meghan Pulles, and she is going to be giving a live performance at the end, so make sure you stick around. We're going to be interviewing Meghan and talking about emotional abuse and how she overcame emotional abuse. And as a matter of fact, Meghan is right here, so I'm going to invite her up. And I'm going to do a little intro of Meghan and share a little bit about her, and we will get into the interviews. So let's see if I can get, oops, I think I just waved at her. I didn't actually invite her up. That's hilarious. Technology. Let's see how we can get Meghan on this live here. I've done this before. Okay, so by the way, my name is Alana Vera, and this is Ascending with Alana. Hello, Meghan. So
Hi.
I'm so excited for today. So Meghan is a singer and songwriter, and she creates emo positive music, as she calls it, which I love because basically Meghan is sharing her the deeper emotions, the things that need to be let out, but also with an empowering message with it too. So Meghan is actually going to be performing today. She's going to be talking about her experience, but also sharing her song Wildflower, which is on her upcoming album, which she is fundraising. So you can actually invest in Meghan's album. She's got her link in her bio, so definitely check that out. But also, as a special bonus today, I'm actually going to be including Meghan's EP, a signed copy of her EP, and also one of the songs from her upcoming album as a digital copy. And I'm also actually, for those of you who don't know me, I'm also a musician, and I used to go by the name Ellery. It was my artist name. So I'm going to be including a signed copy of my album with my coaching program. So any of you that are finding it difficult to, after you've been through abuse, if you're struggling with self-love, this is a breakthrough program. It's called Shine Shamelessly. And basically what we do is we map out 8 different influences that are contributing to you not feeling your most authentic self and not totally shining your brightest. And we find all the different influences. So maybe you have a perfectionist, maybe you have an inner critic part of you, maybe you have a spiritual part of you, maybe you have a creative part of you like Meghan and me. So you might have all these different elements that are contributing to, all these things around self-love. And we pick out the one that we want to work with the most. So maybe it's an inner critic that's really preventing you from really being able to do, maybe you're never writing that song that you want to write, or maybe there's something that that's totally blocking you from feeling authentic in yourself. And so we work through that. We release the burden that is carried with that, and so you can feel energetically better. And again, I'm going to be including Meghan's EP, my album, signed copies, only for today, for 24 hours. So we're going to give you until 2 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow to get that. So that link is in my bio. So lots of special gifts for you today. This musical performance, this interview is going to be so insightful. I cannot wait to get into this. So I just want to wave to all the people that are joining. Hello, hello. We got Jules, Carolina. Hello, we got Larry. So many wonderful people that are watching today. So thank you so much for joining. This is going to be really exciting. So Meghan, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I just did a little bit of music therapy, so I'm feeling very released.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, we're definitely gonna have to talk about that too. So Meghan, I want to ask you, what was your experience with emotional abuse, and how did that, how did music play a role also? Obviously you got some music therapy that you're doing, but of course I'm sure your writing has been very therapeutic for you. But I'd love to know a little bit of your history. Like, what did you go through, and what's your story? I want to hear about that.
Yeah, so I moved to New York City when I was 23, so 8 years ago. And I started working for a man who owned his own business. And he was very powerful and very money driven and just not very kind. And I fell into this, I was his assistant, And essentially he manipulated me, abused me, like verbally would like abuse me in the office in front of everyone else. And then he was kind of like essentially Harvey Weinstein me. Like he was like, okay, I know you're a musician and you want to do music and I can help you get there. And, you know, I was young and I was believing that, oh my God, all I want is to be heard in this world. And all I want is this music career. And like, you know, I kind of fell for that. And I didn't realize how detrimental it was to my health until I reached a breaking point of literally like I had lost all of my self-worth and I found myself considering like jumping in front of a train because
Wow.
I was so in the dark. I was so just, this isn't my life. This isn't what I want. He's telling me where to go, where to be, what to do, who to like, who to see, who to hang out with. I felt very cut off from my family, and my friends. And it was very much like a Stockholm syndrome when I came out of it. It was just like, holy crap, like what happened to you?
Wow.
And it was very, very hard. And music just ended up being that place that I could turn to talk about it and to process it. Because I, like, you know, like most trauma survivors, we want to just bury it. We want to bury it in the ground, push it under our beds. We don't want to pick it up. We don't want to acknowledge that it's there. And all we do is blame ourselves. But, you know, I'm here to say, like, it's not our fault. It's not our fault. It's the fault of the person who decides to abuse us. And
Yeah.
I think that that lesson was, it just kind of came out once I started healing those feelings and guilt and shame and just writing about this experience. It was just so cathartic for me. And now this is just how I process these hard things.
Yeah. Wow. Well, first of all, you are so brave for sticking around. I'm so glad you didn't jump in front of a train. You have so many gifts and so much beauty, and just your existence is, you know, a blessing to have on this planet. And all of us deserve to have, you know, that inner peace and feeling that self-love. But these abusive relationships, they can really throw us off. And you know, I'm just curious, like, what were some of the things, like, what was your turning point when, you know, you obviously, you know, you decided not to jump in front of a train, and how did you decide, okay, you know what, no, I'm going to leave and I'm going to get this, I'm going to get my life back together and I'm going to let this guy go.
Um, well, it happened that I kind of put it out there into the universe, like I need a reason to leave him because, you know, like an abusive, like we need a reason to leave, right? And I
Yeah.
put it out in the universe. I said, please give me another job because that's the only way that I'm gonna feel like I can just cut him off. Because otherwise he's going to try to like harass me and then try to tell me like, oh, I need you to come back for the business. And so he had like two things against me. He had me as his assistant and then me working with him, like him helping me produce or whatever, like with my music. So that made it that much harder to navigate because he had like these two important things against me. Um, and I think I ended up getting an offer and I was interviewing like behind his back. I ended up getting an offer. I took the job. And literally that night, I sent him an email and I was like technically an independent contractor. So I sent him an email and I was like, as of today, I don't work for you. And I blocked him on all of like phone number, just blocked him all around because I knew that he would harass me. And I had to protect myself. And and it was interesting because I reached out to his assistant before me that night because something in my gut was like, reach out to her, tell her what happened. And she basically was like, that's the reason why I left and I moved to LA. And I was like, holy crap, like he's doing this to so many women.
Yeah.
It's just so, so hard to hear that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you got out of that situation and you set those boundaries, you blocked him, you ask the universe for help. And it is amazing, like when we finally just we surrender to the universe and we ask for what we need, how many blessings we can receive after that. Because I also went through a similar situation. For those of you who don't know me, you know, I left an abusive relationship, and you know, yeah, I also struggled with the finances and that aspect too. And I had health issues. And so I'm curious, you know, what kind of health issues did you end up having, and how did leaving your abuser, how did you find that did you start to heal? Like how did that go for you?
Yeah, I think I was I have severe, even to this day, I have severe PTSD about it. Severe. Like, just, it takes over me sometimes. And anxiety and the trauma and the guilt and the shame, they still kind of live sometimes. And I try very hard to just like say, okay, like just like let it go, like pick up your instrument, we're gonna get through this, we're gonna heal through this. And I think admitting that those things happen to you, that is such an important step of healing. Because if you're going to say this didn't happen to me, or this happened to me and I'm ashamed of myself, and I'm still like in the dark about it, and I'm still sort of feeling just, those sorts of things. And I think I just was very like paranoid coming out of it too.
Oh yeah.
Had that fear of like running into him on the street, and like actually the universe like did this one day. It was like a sun shining day, and I was going to a job interview, and I was walking and I saw him across the street, and I just like froze. But then I was like, okay, no, like the universe is like, you got this, girl, you go in your heels. I was like in my heels. I was like, nope, he's not going to touch me, he's not going to see me, and he is, and I'm dismissing him, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think, the repercussions of abuse, there's nightmares. I still have nightmares to this day. I still have dreams where he's yelling at me. So that's kind of, that can be a lot. And, not trusting people,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of comes from it too. And, you just have to work through those emotions. But there is a brighter side of abuse. There is, like, it's really hard to like say that, especially when you're in the thick of it. But like, it also teaches you how strong you are.
Yeah, absolutely. So true. Yeah, there can be a lot of challenges after abuse. I definitely dealt with PTSD. I had like lupus symptoms when I was with him. I was actually able to overcome that with diet. But yeah, but coming back, I ended up moving back with my family, and basically, when I came back home, I was I had multiple chemical sensitivity, and I still, that is still something that I am overcoming, but I've improved radically, and my parents would definitely attest to that. But when I first came home, like my sensitivity was so strong that like, my parents had some kind of an air freshener that was in the vents, and they had taken it out like a week prior. And when I came home, I slept in my car that night because I was like, my body couldn't handle it. So it was just like really, really intense. Yeah, but that was all like related to like PTSD. And like, I definitely had moments of like outbursts and stuff too, with just like, anger, just like, okay, like, my parents didn't really deserve, like, okay, yeah, there's like some childhood trauma and stuff. Yeah. Like, let's admit, but at the same time, like, they didn't deserve all of that. So yeah, I mean, it definitely takes patience and a lot of self-love. I personally have found music to be so powerful and so healing. It was actually something I had lost, because I was pursuing music in LA, and I had left LA because of my abuser. And it's so sad, like the situation that you were talking about with, it's like having to leave, a place that you love or want to be in. It ended up being a blessing in disguise for me because of COVID.
Yeah.
Especially. But now I'm also like, with my family and reconnecting with them and healing. But yeah, like it's interesting because music, I had lost touch with music completely in my domestic violence relationship, and coming back home, I was able to reconnect with it. And it was like, it was finding me, and I was developing this new relationship with it, because it was almost like for me, when I was pursuing my career, it was so like everything was so much about like having to be successful, and it was like a perfectionist mentality. And let me tell you,
Oh yeah.
abusive relationships, they will highlight, they will mirror back the things that you got to work on in yourself. They will magnify, unfortunately, these people, you know, they magnify our insecurities. You know, everyone's got a little bit of insecurity, so like even if you don't have, you know, a bunch of like a history of, say, narcissistic abusive family or whatever, you can end up with someone, you know, who's narcissistic. They present them so they're very charming,
Oh
you know, it could be in a vulnerable situation in your life. And yeah, so those are all things that I think a lot of people are not necessarily aware of. But yeah, it's quite a journey, you know, and seeing those things that they do magnify, though, it does give you an opportunity to actually like work through those, release it, and actually become so much stronger. Like you said, I mean, we can become so much stronger as a result of, you know, being in these relationships, but at the same time, we would never wish it on anyone.
no, no.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just looking at some of the comments. We got Jules saying ulcers from the stress as a question. So I don't know if that was for you. I haven't had ulcers from stress.
No, it was
Yeah.
mostly just anxiety and crying fits. I think, like for me, that was just,
Yeah. And and when you're under anxiety and all those things, like your body doesn't repair itself normally. So like if you're constantly under stress, you're under fight or flight, like your body won't repair. So like the things that have helped me with that, like music, definitely. I've also really benefited from positive affirmations and empowering music, and you know, just focusing on the things that I really love, and getting back in touch with those things. I've also used something called parts work, and that's been really, really powerful for me. It's helped me with trauma bonds. It's helped me with just releasing some of that real extreme anger and things that have come up out of like the PTSD. It's helped me work through a lot of that stuff. So yeah, but definitely, you know, there's a lot of combination of things that we can use. Music can be so powerful. So yeah, again, I forgot, I had another comment here. Thanks, ladies. Have a nice Sunday. Gotta go take care. Okay, so thank you, Carolina, for being here. Oh, Jules said I got ulcers from my stress. Yeah, definitely. So it can show up in different ways for different people. But yeah, so I wanted to ask you, Meghan, you know, this album that you're creating, this was really connected to your emotional abuse. Is that right? And like just like that healing process?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Essentially, going on a journey with someone who is going through all of the different like parts of it, and how they come out, and how they decided to not let the darkness take them. But
Yeah.
they journey, and they're trying to figure it out, and so many different things happen, and there's grief, there's depression, there's trauma, there all the things.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of like how, like, one of the themes in my album is through the wind and the rain I'll remain. And that's the theme of it. And it's like, so you see these like motifs like through different songs. They talk about the wind and the rain and like all this stuff. And it's just like, how do you get through all of that stuff? Right. I have this whole story because I'm extra, but it's like, she's like, yeah, she's going on this journey, and she was abused as a child. So it talks about childhood trauma too, which is something I think we don't ever talk about. So I was like, yeah, we got to talk about that.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that in my life too, just like a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to see, like, if I'm going to do an album about abuse, I need to talk about all the different kinds of abuse, because it's not just one kind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're so strong and so brave for putting that out there, because it can take a lot of courage, you know, to write that music, then to put it out there, to share your story. Like, all these things take so much strength, but they can be so healing, you know, to do that. And I'm so glad that you are doing that, because I think the more of us that do it is the more that other people will feel confident in sharing their stories, and maybe also even recognizing, you know, abuse that they're maybe experiencing that they're not even necessarily recognizing or acknowledging that as abuse, because a lot of times we just think that it's normal, you know, especially if you've grown up in it and, you know, you don't know anything different. It can be hard to identify. So so I'm really glad that you are sharing, you know, these, you know, the stories, the emotions of that, and also putting some, you know, that empowerment of how we can actually overcome despite all the struggles. So I absolutely love that.
Hey.
So would you like to share? So Meghan has a song called Wildflower, and I heard her play it live the other day, and I really loved it. And I was like, Meghan, can you play this on Sunday?
I
So
love that. That makes me so excited about my album. I'm like, hey, people like stuff? Yay!
yeah, yes, exactly. Can you tell us also a little bit of the story about Wildflower before you perform it?
Yeah, so the princess goes on like a quest or a journey, and she travels to like the woods where she hears that there's like a flower spirit who's kind of like grandmother Willow. That's kind of like in my head, like it's like flower spirit, grandmother Willow kind of thing. And she goes there and she's like, how do you stay where you are? How do you stay grounded when you get hit with the wind and the rain and the weather? And I'm going through all this stuff. Like, look at all this stuff I'm carrying, like grief and trauma and depression. How do you sustain? And and then the flower spirit is just like, you know, through the wind and the rain. Like, girl, get with it, grandmother Willow.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, it's going to be so lovely to hear you perform this again. So, yeah. So let's have it.
Okay.
You've got the stage, Meghan.
I'm gonna play it on my electric.
Ooh. Ooh, what kind of guitar is it?
She's a duosonic.
Very
I
nice.
just got her from the shop, so she sounds pretty pristine.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I used to have a Telecaster.
Oh, nice. Yes. I thought about getting that, but I was like too sold on the color of this guitar.
Oh, it is beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. So. It's been nothing but gray skies. Try to dream them all away. Close my eyes, wish I could fly. Try to take a trip away. It's been hard to travel onward. Try to drink the pain away. Close my eyes, wish I could try. Try to make a sweet escape. Wildflower, what's a superpower? How do you remain standing strong through the rain? Wildflower, when's your hour? How do you sustain standing strong through the rain? Through the wind, through the rain, you're still standing. Through the hurt, through the pain, you're still standing. Wildflower, at my hour will I remain
beautiful. Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh. Oh, I love the song. You have such a beautiful voice. Oh my gosh. And it's such an amazing message. So lovely. Thank you
Yay.
so much for sharing your talent and your message and everything with us. So I wanna let everyone know this song is available, is going to be available on your upcoming album, which you are working on. You're doing a fundraiser for it. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm currently crowdfunding for my album, and I found a producer who lives pretty close to me to collaborate on it, that believes in the vision and the messages, and we're already kind of getting ready to start the first single, which I'm so excited about.
Oh, yay! So exciting.
So yeah, I really want this album to happen, and it's because this message of abuse like needs to be broadcasted, and I thought, what is better to broadcast something is to put it into musical form, because that's my language, and that's a lot of people's languages, and I think there's something so beautiful about taking that pain and hurt and experience that was negative and turning it into light, and the light is going to be the music.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Empowered and not discouraged by what happened to them. I want them to say, you know what, I'm gonna listen to this. I'm gonna go on the journey. Like, I relate to all these things. Look what happens when we heal ourselves in the end.
Yeah.
Light.
Yes, yes, so true. Oh my gosh. I love how you put that. It's like we're transmuting that energy into something positive by putting it into music. I absolutely love that.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're gonna have 13 songs on this album, right?
Yeah, that's the plan, to do, like, I'm thinking 11 songs and then 2 bonus songs. I was born on the 13th, so I'm really extra with the number 13, and I've written that many songs, so why wouldn't I have that many songs on there, So
Yes. I
yeah.
love it. I love it. So amazing. So you're working on getting to your goal. It's so the goal is, so right now, where are you at? How much have you raised so far?
So with the website, and then I have people who just are giving me like PayPal or Venmo, because they want me to get all of the funds, because I know that Indiegogo takes a portion of the thing, which that's just how they make their money. But
Yeah.
so with that, like, I have a little over 2,000, and I think I have enough to basically pay for the first single. So
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting.
up, and it goes until the beginning of June. So
Okay.
yeah.
I think I checked, it said 49 days left on your fundraiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yes. So the goal is 31,000, which I think is kind of interesting because you got 13. And like there's, I'm into the numerology thing too. So
yeah, you got me.
Yeah, totally. I love it. Signs from the universe. Gosh, I saw so many signs with numbers when I was leaving my ex. It was pretty amazing. That's another story for another day. But yeah, amazing. So, oh my gosh, you're gonna have such an amazing. I can't wait for the single to be out. So, by the way, anyone who's here again today, so your EP, Keep the Light On. That's going to be included in my coaching package as a bonus, just for 24 hours, a signed copy of Keep the Light On, and then also Wildflower, which you just heard. That'll be a digital copy of that. And then also I'm including my album that I wrote, before I lost touch with music. This is called Love Cyanidation. And this is all about, basically there's a metaphor for this, is there's a process of mining gold that requires to use poison. So it's very much like being in an abusive relationship, unfortunately, where it's like, you have this really horrible experience, but you get this beautiful gold out of it, and you get something, you find who you truly are in this kind of a situation. So this album is still totally relevant as well to all of this. A lot of healing. It was my journey also of realizing, having awareness around toxic relationships, releasing them, letting them go. So yeah, that's what's in my album. And I'll be signing this as well. So again, anyone who signs up for my coaching program, Shine Shamelessly, which is a breakthrough program. Basically, we work through these 8 different parts of you that are influencing your ability to just really fully shine and be confident. And we work on that so you can have that self-love. We work with that one part of you that's causing the most disruption, and then you get a PDF that walks you through how to work with these different parts of you so that you can do it on your own as well after we work together. So you get that as well. You get a breakdown of the different types of parts as well that could be influencing you. You get the map of all of these different parts. There's a lot that you get with that, plus these amazing bonuses of music, because what isn't more healing than music, right? So that's going to be included as well. Just for today, 24 hours. The link is in my bio. And then I would also highly recommend go to Meghan's bio and donate to her fundraising so that she can continue to put out this message of overcoming emotional abuse and just sharing the story of emotional abuse, whether it be from childhood or a romantic relationship. We need to get more of this out there and also empower more of us that have been through this type of situation with these healing words and just letting other people know that they're not alone. So yeah, so happy that you are doing this, Meghan. And it's been so amazing having you here today. If you want, I would love, if you're down to play another song, I'd be happy to have you play another one.
Okay, great. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna play my. It's gonna be the first song. It's about trauma.
Okay, perfect. And what is this one called?
It's called Once Upon a Time.
Okay, wonderful.
And
the album's called Ear Baby, is that right?
Yes, it's called Ear Baby because I have had many an ear issue, and I continue, and that's another theme in my life. Like, I've had 2 ear surgeries.
Oh, wow.
So it's interesting. But
yeah,
I keep having this recurring thing of, it's like childhood, right? Like, since childhood, I've had ear problems, and I have, I think she's from Sweden or something. She told me that they call people that have recurring ear problems, like, since they were kids, ear babies. And I was like, that is an album.
Wow.
Because also it could be like, I hear everything, I feel everything, I'm an empath too, so it was like nail on the head. I was like, okay, that's my name.
That's amazing. Love it. You know what's crazy? My mom is also, she had a lot of ear problems as a child. That's so wild.
Oh, so she's an ear baby too.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to tell her that.
Well, tell her you met another ear baby. She'll probably
I will let her know. I'll have her watch this live.
Okay. All right, so this is Once Upon a Time. Once upon a time, no reason, no rhyme. In this fairy tale land, I could depend on once upon a time, no fairness and no right. In this toxic, twisted land, I couldn't count on once upon a time. once upon a time, I said bye. The grass starts to die, no one waters it. I go to my room and cry, 'cause no one's listening. I go to my room and cry, 'cause no one's listening. Will you listen? Once upon a time, it was a long time ago. And once upon a time, was I ever gonna let it go?
Oh, it's so beautiful. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Oh, that was so lovely.
That one gets me like,
oh.
yeah, it always makes me like cry when I sing that song. Yeah.
Oh, I just want to give you a big hug. Hug. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys have tears in your eyes after that song? Let me know in the comments. Who's been crying?
I think telling my boyfriend, like, I think I'm gonna include like a pack of tissues with my CDs.
I love it. We'll have to include that with the bonus too.
Yeah.
A pack of tissues.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get it out, because otherwise, it just stays in, and we want to release all of that emotion so that we don't have to hang on to it anymore. So it's so beautiful. I love that you're writing it, getting it out, and sharing it with the world. It's so, so powerful. So yeah, it's been so lovely having you here, and I just want to thank everyone that's been watching. I hope you all have been enjoying this musical performance and this interview with Meghan. Meghan, you've shared so much insight with your background, and I just want to encourage you to keep sharing your story about what you went through, because more people, I think the more that we share it, just the better other people will feel like getting out of their situations. They're gonna it's so healing, I think, to do that. So so thanks again for sharing your songs. By the way, again, any of you that are just joining, you can get Meghan's you can help her invest in her EP, her album. I'm getting all the words mixed up. It's a 13-song album that Meghan's working on called Ear Baby. She's got enough money for the first single. And if you go to her profile, you can donate to that, and you'll also get, depending on how much you donate, you'll get some different packages with that, some of them including your music, which is really great. And also, I have my Shine Shamelessly coaching program. So if you're working through self-love, especially if you've been through domestic violence or narcissistic abuse, and you're trying to get back to yourself and feel totally free in a sense of inner peace and calm and clarity, maybe you still hear his voice in your head and you're trying to work through that and you're trying to let go and focus on you. I can help you with that with something called Parts Work. It's in my Shine Shamelessly coaching program. So if you have any questions about that, also feel free to send me a DM. If you're kind of wondering if it's right for you, if it has everything you need. But I am including some bonuses just for today for 24 hours, so until 2 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. My album, Love Cyanidation, signed copy of Meghan's EP, Turn the Light On, and the single Wildflower that you heard today, once that is done and available. So all of those things are going to be included. And I'm so excited to, have this so that we can, again, help everyone that's going through this have more resources so that they can do their inner work, do their healing, and overcome some of these, events that have happened in our lives, because we don't want them to define us forever. They're a part of our story. They need to be shared. They need to be written about and released into the world. But we also deserve to have our light back and to, be sharing our gifts. And I'm so glad that you stuck around, that you stuck through it. You hung on to life, and you're sharing your gifts with us here. And your music is so beautiful. So thank you, Meghan.
Oh, thank you so much. It was
Yeah.
amazing talking to you, and just for everyone out there, keep going. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Yes, definitely. Never give up. Never, never give up. And ask the universe for help when you need it. That's the other lesson.
Yeah, put it out there to the universe, and the universe will provide.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's been so amazing. And thank you everyone again for watching, for being here. Yeah, so the links in my bio for the Shine Shamelessly program, and your fundraiser is in your bio.
Yeah.
So go check out those links, everybody.
Yep.
DM if you got questions, and would love to have you back sometime again. It's been so lovely having you.
Yes, I would love to come back.
Yes, thank you so much, Meghan. Well, enjoy. Good luck with your first single on the album, recording that, and I'm
Yeah,
wishing you luck with your fundraiser.
thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday.
You too. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.